What if giving your dinner to an old stranger could make you a millionaire overnight? This is Darius Johnson, 17 years old, washing dishes for $8 an hour at a small city cafe. The morning rush is over, the clatter of plates and steaming coffee cups fading into the background. Darius wipes a table, glances at the clock, and knows his shift will end soon. He's tired, hungry, and the only thing he's looking forward to is the small sandwich and cup of coffee he's saved for days. Tonight, he plans to eat quietly at the corner booth, away from the noise of the world, and finally rest his aching feet. But as he steps outside with the paper bag in his hands, something catches his eye. On a cold bench near the cafe, shivering, under a thin coat sits an old man. His hair is white, thin, and messy, and his wrinkled hands clench empty pockets. The sight tugs at something deep inside Darius. Hunger is gnawing at his stomach, but for a moment he forgets it. The old man looks up and meets his gaze with piercing blue eyes that seem to see through everything, yet are calm, expectant almost, waiting. Darius hesitates for only a second, then approaches. His hand shakes slightly as he sets the sandwich and cup of coffee on the bench in front of the man. "Here. You can have this," he says softly, his voice barely above a whisper. The old man's eyes flicker with something unreadable. Grateful, yes, but something else too. A knowing glint that makes Darius feel a little uneasy, though he doesn't understand why. He turns to leave, telling himself he should get back home, eat, and finish the day. But the old man calls out, "Wait, young man!" Darius stops. The old man doesn't ask for anything, doesn't demand, doesn't even smile. He just nods slightly, as if acknowledging a silent understanding. Darius feels a strange warmth in his chest, a feeling he hasn't felt in a long time. Something about giving away his own dinner to someone who truly needed it feels right. The next morning, Darius wakes early. His hands are calloused from the dishes, his body still sore, but his heart feels lighter. He doesn't know what awaits him outside, but he doesn't expect what happens next. There's a knock at the door. He opens it, and there stands a man in a tailored suit, the same old man from the bench, except now he seems larger than life, commanding, almost regal. Behind him is a car that gleams in the morning sun, expensive beyond anything Darius has ever seen. The man smiles gently. "Darius Johnson," he says, his voice calm but firm. "I want to thank you for what you did yesterday. That simple act of kindness. It tells me everything I need to know." Darius stares, speechless. "I want to give you an opportunity, something that can change your life." The old man steps aside and Darius glimpses a leather portfolio. Papers peek out, contracts, offers, documents with his name written on them. His mind races. He can't believe this is happening. He remembers his small sandwich, the hunger he had felt, the decision he made without thinking. And now, this moment, this opportunity, stands before him as a reward he never imagined possible. The old man explains that he and his late business partner had been watching, seeking someone with integrity, someone capable of selfless action in a world that rarely rewards it. Many people walk past hunger, walk past need without thinking twice. But you chose to help, even when it cost you. That tells me you're the kind of person I want to trust with something much bigger than a meal. Darius listens, still trying to grasp reality. He thinks of his family, his small apartment, the dreams he had pushed aside because money was always a struggle. And now, with a single act, a simple decision to help, the entire course of his life has shifted. Weeks later, Darius is no longer washing dishes. He's sitting in an office overlooking the city, papers spread in front of him, learning about investments, philanthropy, and opportunities he had never imagined. The old man visits often, not just as a mentor, but as a reminder that kindness, even the smallest, never goes unnoticed. And yet, what Darius remembers most is that cold night on the bench, the shivering old man, the sandwich, the choice to give rather than keep. He understands now that wealth isn't only measured in money, it's measured in the impact of your actions, the courage to do right when no one is watching, and the generosity of your heart. Months pass, and Darius finds ways to give back. He starts a community program to feed struggling families, hires young people who need work, and ensures that the lessons of that night are not forgotten. People in the neighborhood whisper about the young man who went from washing dishes to living a life of influence and generosity, always remembering the simple act that changed everything. Every so often he walks past that same bench where he met the old man. The spot is empty now, but the memory remains vivid. That small choice, to give, to act, to care, taught him more than any lesson he had learned in school or from life. It taught him that even in a world that seems indifferent, kindness has power. And sometimes, that power can change everything overnight. Years later, Darius often tells this story, not to boast, but to inspire. You never know whose life you might touch, he says. One act of kindness, one simple dinner, could be the start of something bigger than you ever imagined. And every time he says it, he remembers the cold bench, the piercing blue eyes, and the moment he chose to do the right thing without expecting anything in return. That single choice became the catalyst for a life beyond imagination, a millionaire not just in wealth, but in purpose and heart.